Hi everyone, Sydney here, back at home, and I'm gonna flex a new muscle for this video. Jump cuts! So I'm just sitting here at home, minding my own business, when all of a sudden the stories start piling up faster than I can respond to them. So as many of you know already, I've been comparing politics to pro wrestling for almost a decade now. And on Sunday, when I saw that Donald Trump tweeted this video of him clotheslining Vince McMahon, but with the CNN logo on it, I thought it was hilarious. As I've said many times on this channel, I loved his campaign. I am not surprised at all to see him continuing to use the strategies that got him into the office, and I think it is a sign of cluelessness to be surprised to see him continue this strategy, because it's working. When I saw this as a lifelong wrestling fan, and as someone who's been cynical and skeptical of old media for a while now, I thought it was very enjoyable, and I thought it was funny before seeing CNN's reaction to this, which is yet another indication of how clueless they are, and another clue as to how old media in general is on its way out. That they somehow tried to spin this as an incitement to violence, which is absolutely hilarious to anyone with a clue. I don't think anyone worth mentioning at CNN actually believes this. Everyone knows that wrestling is fixed, and to see any clip of wrestling being interpreted as an incitement to violence is reaching at most. After that, though, shit got real recently when CNN tracked down the person who made the GIF, and basically they threatened to dox him. As bad as it is to try to use this GIF that the president tweeted in a clear attempt to troll you and to react, to go full Barbara Streisand on this and say, oh, stop doing that, is one thing, but to find the person and reach out to him for comment is really, you have no idea what you've done. As I tweeted earlier today, the internet is going, I am Spartacus on your asses, and frankly, you deserve everything that is peaceful and voluntary that is coming to you, including all the memes that have come. You can't, like, feeding the trolls by reacting so badly to the trolling is one thing, but when you bully someone, it is, you know, you don't want the shitlords of the world uniting against you, which is what you're doing. You've mobilized me. I can't quite figure out how I want to do this yet, but I definitely want #sin and blackmail to continue to trend, because as much as you can try to deny the fact that you blackmailed him or that you threatened to dox him, the phrase "we reserve the right to publish his information should any of this change" doesn't leave that much room for interpretation. And honestly, like, who is the idiot who let this through? I think that the editor who let this person through should face consequences internally to CNN. All you had to do was end the sentence at, "we are not releasing his information because he's a private individual." That's all you had to do. Problem solved. But after that, you went and implied that you might, if ever things happen that you don't like. And frankly, I don't care how old this person is. I'll take your word for it that he's not 15, but his age is absolutely relevant to the issue. The bottom line is, it's a private individual who is shitposting. I mean, his fucking name is Han Asshole Solo. What the fuck do you expect this person to be posting about? And to use the fact that he was shitposting as to gain leverage to threaten him to release his information is underhanded at best. And again, you deserve everything peaceful and voluntary that's coming to you. Basically all the trolling. I hope that you will continue to demonstrate your cluelessness in your attempts to save yourselves. And hey, maybe you should save yourselves, maybe you shouldn't. The reporters in your staff that are worth a shit should just bail ship and start their own vlogs. I mean, honestly, Anderson Cooper and Wolf Blitzer, warts and all, I think that they would be much more credible on their own as they would under the CNN brand. The crazy part of all this is that they did this in the wake of the Project Veritas stuff, where they're already under scrutiny. And yes, I get it that Project Veritas has bias. There is some fishy stuff about them. However, the videos that they did release, except for one of them, which I'll get to very shortly, that's pretty damning evidence. And frankly, with these videos, there is more evidence that CNN is knowingly lying about the Trump-Russia thing than there is about the actual Trump-Russia thing. The Achilles heel of the Project Veritas videos, which I really wish that alternative media would back off on, is the Nothing Burger line. Even last week when I was watching that, I rewound it just to make sure that I had interpreted that I had heard everything correctly. But the fact of the matter is, there is too much plausible deniability with the Nothing Burger line, because it is pretty clear that Van Jones, just before getting interrupted by someone else arriving on the scene, added, "There's nothing you can do," which rests on the assumption that he believes that the CNN Trump-Russia, the Trump-Russia stuff is true. So to see people in the alternative media harp so much on the Nothing Burger line is disappointing to me, and I wish they would back off from that line, because the rest of the stuff, like Mostly Bullshit, how's that for a soundbite? And that one in context is pretty damning. And yes, he might be some producer of the medical show, but it is impossible for him to not be in communication with the other higher up producers at CNN. Like, for the political people to have like a smoking gun for Trump, and to not share it during their staff meeting or whatever, is kind of ludicrous to me. So his opinion, even though he's not an expert on CNN's political shit, is worthy, is credible. Now, with all this happening, there is something that I did that I know very, very, very few people have done. And I am sharing this to make sure that you're honest and that you don't fall into the pretty clear trap that is out there for all of us, including myself. On Sunday night, as I was, before going to bed and, proceeding to laugh myself to sleep, I opened up Google and I tried to see if there had been any recent US military bombings in the Middle East. And I think that is an example of the vigilance that we cannot afford to take for granted with regards to anyone who's in office. Like, honestly, I'll say it again, I'm not a Trump supporter. I just think everyone else is worse. And I think that, the fact that he is not a career politician makes me a little bit more hopeful of him not using this to advance some sinister agenda or something. However, he is a genius. He did spend an entire year campaigning circles around a bunch of career politicians, and he is continuing the strategies that got him into office on social media. So if he did have a sinister plan, this would be the perfect time to advance that plan. And I think that people, lefties and righties, no matter what you think of Trump and his policies, you should remain vigilant. Make sure not to use this to take your eye off the ball, which is to keep the person who holds the highest office in the land of the U.S. To hold them to account and make sure that he's on the up and up, as far as any president can be, because again, taxation is theft, nobody for president, all that stuff. That hasn't changed on my side. There are a lot of tangential issues that I would like to elaborate on, but I think they would be better suited for other videos. So I think that will do for now. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and share. Leave your comments below. It is very, as entertaining as this is, as much as I hope that CNN gets everything peaceful and voluntary that's coming to them for doxing this individual, for shitposting of all things. At least a third of my Facebook posts are shit posts. And Almost 100% of my strategy on Facebook is to find the way to balance my shit posts with my non-shit posts so that people who disagree with me politically, which is almost everyone, find me tolerable. Don't come after our right to shit post. Please leave your comments below again, like and share. Thank you very much for watching, and if you like this, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to get notifications. You'll find links to all my social media below. Thank you very much. I will see you soon.